Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we a split screen?
Well, I can't figure out how to do it, but I will have to do that next time, but we'll see me down here. Can you see me? Do I look
I can see you.
okay?
You're not the whole screen. You're just like a band across the middle, and I'm up here in the corner.
I remember now. There we go. I got it split. Now I remember how to do it.
Oh, so you can
Okay. I can see you, I can see me, and this is what will be recorded.
see.
We've
Yay.
started, so let me just say welcome to Live From Your Heart with Ann Roman. And today I have a guest, Marcie, and I don't know if you want me to say your whole name, but I will. Marcie Giancola is with me today, and we go way back.
Oh,
So the theme of this show today is going to be friends. But first, before we go there, I've got some, updates about the astrology stuff that's going on. I'd like to talk about that. Welcome, Marcie. I want to welcome you here.
trying to call me, and I'm ignoring it.
Well, it is it's making it go beep, beep. It's blocking you out a little bit. So you might want to tell him.
I sent him a text and said I'm on a Zoom call. I will talk to you later. And of course,
And he doesn't care.
say right.
Yeah, because it's cutting you out when you talk, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. It's all good. Anyways, so we have a few things going on astrologically. So I've decided to talk about planets, houses, and signs every week in my show or when I do a show. I haven't done a show for a little while because I've had a lot of things going on that prevented me from getting on here. So the biggest thing that we've had going this week is Pluto. Pluto went direct, and it was retro since the beginning of May, went back into Capricorn, which was a horrible place for it to be. You might have noticed that in the last 12 years, 16 years, I think. I think it was 16 years. Anyway, it has moved into Aquarius, and Aquarius is the humanitarian place. And what happened the day that it went forward, the day it stopped being retro, what happened? Well, the hostages were released, and I hope we see more of this with this new trend with Pluto. It's because it's going to change things in a more humanitarian way. Pluto is an interesting sign. It's the god of death and regeneration. When he's sitting on you, man, you can't do anything except what he wants you to do. And it may take you a while to figure it out, but when you do, the rewards are great, just like we noticed with the hostages. So we have that, and it's been retro for a while. And when it goes retro, things start to slow down in your life, and you may have noticed that. So where you were noticing that since May is where it is in your chart, just so you know. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. You can always reach me. Just send me a message. What else do we have today? So, oh, I wrote a book and I got it published, and it's now available on Amazon. It's called Smile for a Minute. It is soulful. What is it? Smile for a Minute. Reflections of a Soulful Healer. And I've been doing that for years. And I wrote about things like love and acceptance and acknowledgement and jealousy. Well, I didn't put jealousy in there. I put forgiveness. That was a very hard chapter to write. I think forgiveness is hard for all of us. So it's available on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle, or you can get the book. So just want to plug that little book. Anyways, we're going to move on so we can chat, Marcie. Marcie, I don't know what you prefer. I've always called you Marcie. I've known you forever.
Family and old friends call me Marcie. Everybody calls me Marcia.
You know, everybody calls me Annie in the East Bay. And the only people that called me Annie growing up were my father and my sister Claire. But my all my friends, all my real estate community calls me Annie. I am Annie Roman or Annie Mallory, some of them called me. I changed that pretty quick. But Mars and I go back to 1974. We had some old loves in common, and that's how we met. We didn't survive the old loves, but we survived the friendship, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, goes to show what's more important, your girlfriend.
Exactly, exactly.
But we
So,
know each other if it wasn't for an old boyfriend.
yeah, exactly. That was probably the purpose of the relationship was say, hey, you guys need to be friends. And that was, gosh, 1974, a long time ago.
It sure
Wow.
was.
It's a lot of happening since then. Recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I lost some people that were very dear to me in a matter of 24 hours. None of them were related, but boy, did that throw me off. I had to be quiet. I had to pull back and do nothing for a while to just kind of regenerate that. And I realized that, my circle, as you get older, your circle gets so small.
Mhm.
And you have to really appreciate who's in the circle and
That's
let them know. What did you have to say about that?
Well, I have to say, out of my lifetime of um, friends going in and out of your life as they do, some are here for a season, and then you have those who are here for the whole ride.
Right.
I have two that have been here for the whole ride, and that's you and my college best friend, Roxanne.
I remember Roxanne.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
The two of you, that's the
that's
only people that are still around outside of family.
right. Our new friends,
No,
nice.
yeah,
We collect people throughout our lives.
right.
And, some of them stay, some of them do things that are very nice to you. And then they move on, thank God.
And then there's that. I
I,
mean, people nowadays, Anne, are so transitory.
yes.
So you may have some friends that you made in one state, but you move to another state and no longer you kind of lose contact with those people. And so I'm in the process of creating a new women's circle down here.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
but it takes effort. I
It's
mean,
time.
we're gonna,
Right in 3 years when you're in a new area,
yeah,
it takes right around that time. And that just recently happened to me. And then poof, gotta go. Because, unforeseen circumstances and
right,
whatever they are. But, those, and then you find out who is the treasure of that group. And they stick with you for a while and you make plans getting together and that sort of thing.
right.
Um, I've had some interesting things with friends. A few years ago, I had a friend who I was close to her and her mother, and they were very good friends of mine. And something was just nagging at me one day. You need to find her. You need to see what happened, where she ended up, and reach out to her, see if you can find her.
Mm-hmm.
And I still had her number in my phone. And I called that number. I sent a text in that number, and she still had that phone number. And it had been, oh gosh, I think it had been 10 years. And she said, oh my God, I have been thinking about you and thinking about you. And she wasn't well. And
Mm.
she unfortunately passed away, but I got to see her before that. And
Yeah.
it's really wonderful that I had that experience with her. And that seems to, I don't know if it's because of what I do, if it's those kind of things happen to me because I have, an awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really remarkable how that happened.
Well, we were out of contact for years.
Right.
I started thinking about you, and I had no clue like how to find you. And you contacted me. You found me,
Right.
and
Right.
I don't know how many years.
And you said, I've been looking for you. Was what
I had been looking for you.
That's really
I,
special.
there were a few other people in my past lives that I, kind of tried to find out where they were, couldn't find them. But with women, we get remarried and our name,
Yes. And we use those names.
yeah. So
Roman. I will never give up Roman. Ever. Ever. I'll never give it up. Not that I won't love the next guy. It's just a matter of that's me. It's who I am. I don't need you.
Well, I've been married to my husband for almost 43
Well, and I had my
years.
husband's name too. I had his name, and my legal name is still that name. I still have that, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be happy to get rid of that. I would be Mrs. So-and-so, but I'm still going to be Anne Roman.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. I mean, we are who we are,
Right.
But I've been Giancola for more of my life than I haven't. So.
Right. Exactly.
It's
such a great name.
That's foreign. Yeah, Giancola.
Yeah, Giancola. Exactly. That name means business.
It does.
I don't like Roman. Yeah. Hello. It's a strong name, very strong name. I like that name.
Yeah.
We also have other things in common. I don't know if you want to divulge that, but we both have an interest in things that are unseen or things that we can see that nobody else can see. We have that in common. Is that something you want to share?
Oh yeah, we could talk about it. Anne talks to dead people. I see like visions in my head of things. I kind of see things that are coming.
Right.
And
yeah, you do. You've blown my mind. I mean, really, we all have our own niche.
Right.
Own craft.
Yeah. World events.
You don't have to be sensationalized and be, famous to be correct or have a gift.
That's right.
And that's the message I want to give. And I won't do any readings online. If you see me online, it's because somebody, I don't know, put a gun to my head.
Well,
I'm kidding. That's a joke. I'm just kidding.
I kind of feel like there's the gifts of the spirit, and you're given those gifts when you get here. Sometimes they don't even materialize for decades, and then all of a sudden. And I was really kind of surprised that I just have these feelings like this is going to happen. I can see this happening, and then it happens. And
how does your body feel when you have that happen? How does your body feel when you're doing
that? It's really weird. It just happens. It's just like a premonition. I guess is what you call it, premonitions. I can see it
a little bit more than that. I think they're downright visions and a download. I really feel like what you've shared to me, and I know that that's a private thing, has been a download.
Yeah.
And it's so clear, and it's just so clear what you're given. It's like you have this special gift with, whoever, the ethers, the angels, the guides want you to know that you have this. And I know from my own experience of healing, which I do, my body feels different whenever I do that. My body feels different when I'm doing a group or doing medium readings or anything.
When talking about it, or like sometimes I kind of read people the same way, and having a conversation, and then all of a sudden I just start talking.
Getting channeling. It's called channeling.
Yeah. I just start telling them.
Is there anything that you want to share that you're aware of that maybe would be a great message? Is there anything that you don't have to.
You're right. I just don't like to, so much of what I see is taken as political.
Oh, right.
And
God forbid we talk about that.
I don't want to be political, but when
this is a no political zone.
I see it, and one side's going to like it and the other's not, but it's just what I see.
Right. It's not anything that you're feeling or want to happen.
Right.
Well, it's just info that you're getting, and maybe you like it and maybe you don't. It's not the point of it. It's not about what you're thinking. It's right. What the vision that you're given.
Right. I know right now there's a lot of people concerned about military being in certain cities. Some people are saying, oh, I'm really happy they're here because I've been so afraid. Other people are taking it as, oh, they shouldn't be allowed to do this, you know. And all I can say is what's going to happen is going to happen. It's not over. It's going to keep going, but eventually it will stop. The how do I put
conflicts?
The conflicts will be over. Yeah.
Are you talking about like protest kind of things, or?
Yeah, well, they're getting really violent. And when things get violent, then you have to squash them because,
well, it's unsafe for everybody, whether you believe or not, whether you support or not.
It doesn't
cause that I say, okay, that's a good cause. But yeah, there are others I think, oh my God, that's blatant hatred. So, I don't know how we, that's a real mind-changing aspect, yep, which will go back to Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto is now in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about humanitarian and what's right for the people and good for the people. That's what Aquarius is. It rules the 11th house. And Pluto is there, and he's going to shake up some stuff to get us to be more humanitarian. Whether it's the A or the B side, doesn't matter. It's going to move us to be more humanitarian. What worries me is what we go through to get there.
Right.
This hostage thing, it's been horrible for everybody. It's been horrible.
And I'm so glad it's over. I just, that all the living hostages have been released. Hallelujah. But people want their babies back to bury them, even if I know that they're going in, they're going to find them. They're working hard to find them. They're turning over every stone.
I have a friend that's from Tel Aviv, and she's put out a lot of posts about a lot of truths, and it's been interesting. But there's a lot of people that don't support, and there's a lot of people that do support, and it feels like the world supports the peace talks, and I think that's what we want. And I think we'll see more things that are changing and evolving for the people in a more humanitarian way. And I've seen it with all sorts of things with this Pluto, because we've been working up to Pluto going into Aquarius for quite some time, at least the last year and a half. And what I see with that is that people are more focused on a peaceful life.
Yes.
A peaceful existence, and not being about hatred. Like, I won't tolerate criticism. And there was a time that I was probably critical or mouthy or whatever. But I was entitled to grow up. I think I was entitled to that. But I don't tolerate criticism or things that are not complimentary about somebody. I don't like it. If I see something that's blatant hatred, I'll call it what it is.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a trend where people are caring more about what they put in their body, about how to have a happier, more loving, wonderful life experience. I see people are really more aware of that. And do you notice that? Do you see where you are?
out in the world, I just see more kindness in people, more politeness in people, more appreciation for little things. You know, like I'm short. There was something I needed on a very high shelf. And I saw this really tall man and I said, "Sir, you must have been sent to save me." And he laughed. And I said, "I'm sure short women are constantly wanting you to get things off the top shelf."
Oh, that is so sweet. I love it.
He goes, "I would be more than happy to help you." And he grabbed it and he gave it. I just said, "God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day." And he just looked at me and said, "God bless you too," and walked off.
Oh, I love it.
Little encounters like that. I also notice when traffic is heavy, people, you know how I've been in situations where you're not going to get there any faster if you're just kind enough to let one person in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, what does it matter?
What does it matter?
What does it
I'm
matter?
noticing that kind of courtesy when I'm driving, like a lot, because
Right.
I do it. I will let a person in. And I just hope that, you know, I had somebody pay for my coffee one time driving through. I don't know if it was Dunkin' Donuts or something. And they said, "Oh,
You're
it's
giving away where you are.
by the."
We don't have that on the East West Coast. We have Dunkin' Donuts, but not like you do on the East Coast.
Oh, paid for my coffee.
Oh, wow.
So
I love
down and paid for the guy behind. Oh, pass it on.
Oh, I love it. I bet he loved helping you, whoever that person was. You
Well,
know, I think it's a feel good. I love that random act of kindness. I think what does it hurt when you make somebody's day? I mean, that just kind of changes the vibe of everybody. The
now,
person who poured the coffee and took the money, the guy that gave the money, and the person receiving it. I think I think it helps everybody.
well, I think that seeing the escalation in these random acts of kindness is changing people inside because they're so accustomed to everybody being in loggerheads over politics. And everybody, I think, is really sick of it.
God, I think we're so sick of so much. I really do.
And there are some people, mostly politicians, that won't let go. They have to keep it up. They keep trying to stoke the fire and rile everybody up. But I think everybody's waking up to saying, "No, we're not going to let you do that anymore. We're not buying what you're selling."
Right. I think you're probably correct about
I know.
that. I think we're all coming together like, who cares anymore? But I think radical behavior of different beliefs or different support systems, I think that needs to stop. You know, we're all entitled, as a United States
I
citizen,
don't think that anybody,
I'm
I don't
entitled to believe what I want. And whether it's right or left is nobody's business.
or even your religion. You should be able to practice your religion. I don't care what
Regardless of what it is, exactly.
I don't care what it is. You should be able to do that in peace.
Right.
And
I agree.
live and let live. Don't try to, I think people of faith, regardless of the religion, whether it's Muslim or Buddhism or whatever, Christianity, Judaism, all of it, the very, very core of every single doctrine is love.
And right is the same thing.
Love.
Love your family, love your neighbor,
and be respectful.
It's all the same.
Be respectful. So if everybody just pulls back, goes to that core, and truly practices their faith, their true faith, not somebody's radical idea of their faith, but pull back to their true faith, then that love's going to shine out all over the place.
Right.
And that's going to make a huge difference.
Right, I agree.
A huge difference, because I think
acceptance. It's in the book that I wrote. We talk about the beginning is acknowledging.
Yes.
You got to acknowledge whatever it is. Then you have to accept it.
Yeah.
have to change it. But you got to accept whatever it is. You got to accept other people. You got to acknowledge we're different.
Well,
And
the thing
feel
is, I'm sorry.
well, that's what I wrote about was
Yeah.
having that acceptance. We are all different. We're entitled to be different.
We are.
I come from a diverse background. Okay, they're both European. My father's family was from Spain. My mother's was from England. They were they were not American. My father was first generation American, but my mother wasn't. The culture difference between the kids that I went to school with and how I was in my house. When I walked in the door, it was the UK. It was not America. I wore funny shoes. I had different clothes. I had different ideals. I mean, it was different. And that's just who I was. I laughed and I sang like an English child. I mean, I was just that kid. And, we all have differences. And, they used to put me with the kids that, would come. We had a lot of Asian kids that were refugees. We had Korean kids and we had Yugoslavian kids. And they would pair me up with those kids because I could understand them. They didn't speak English, but I was their friend and I just had this thing. And I still have that. I still have this knowingness, understanding thing. And I had that and very different. And I never thought anything other than they were kids just like me. I didn't think that they were from a terrible place or they were kids just like me.
That's right.
Yeah. We need to get our childhood feelings back. We need to relive that innocence.
Right. But there's another aspect. I've lived, as you know, in Asia. I lived in Japan, and I learned a lot by living in another country that was a totally different culture than mine.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we can be the ugly Americans where we expect everybody to have our same value system when they're
whatever that is.
Like a man doesn't get up and give a pregnant lady his seat on a bus in Japan. And there's nothing like that.
That's totally accepted because he's king.
No. This guy has just worked probably worked 60, 80 hours a week. Okay, they work very hard.
Right, but he
gets up in the middle of the night and takes a train to go to work, and it takes him an hour and a half to get home. He's sleeping. Wow. Or a lot of times they're resting on that ride because they won't get much rest otherwise.
Wow.
So that's the reason you're being kind to that person because they work so hard. He's not being rude because you got pregnant.
Yeah, I don't think it's rude. It just is what it is.
Right, but that's
maybe he got a bad back. We don't know.
Right, but it's our culture inflicting our beliefs.
Well, we have a lot of judgments.
Yeah, your culture.
We judge everybody.
Yeah,
we know nothing. I remember one time a friend telling me that a European friend who had another friend that was telling her that the friend was saying, and she's very well off. My friend is A, her friend is B. B was very well off. And she said, I'm going to take my children to Italy so they can see a third world country. My friend, who was very, very European, said, what are you talking about? Italy is not a third world country. Where are you getting this? I was like, what we know about geography and world stuff in this country is really far behind. It really is. We don't know other cultures. We think we do, but oh my God, I couldn't believe when she said that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, that's crazy.
Do you not know where Armani comes from? Gucci. I mean, hello. Not to all the architecture and Italians are so rich with.
My goodness, did you have any history lessons?
Well, it was just so mind-boggling to me that this ignorant woman thought that. And it's kind of like, we think that every Spanish speaking person comes from south of the border, which
It's not true.
The mother country to Spanish language is in Europe.
That's right.
And there's nothing wrong with anybody else who speaks that language, but hello, the culture is very different.
Yeah.
And, I know this because I come from that culture, and we are Anglo, we're Europeans. And there's 5 languages in Spain, and they're all different. And the common one is the New Castilian Spanish, and but South Americans speak a lot similar to the way my grandparents spoke. There's a lot of similarities.
Well, South America and Mexico, the Spanish language was mixed with indigenous language.
Yeah, it's not, well, there's 5 languages in Spain.
Right. Well, I have a friend who
speaks the same as the South.
Yeah, I had a friend.
Common language, when Franco was in regime, he only allowed one language. He allowed all the rest. But those other languages are still alive.
Well, I had a friend, he's Mexican. He and his wife went to Spain. He thought, no problem, I speak Spanish, till he got there. He didn't speak Castilian Spanish. And he could communicate very well with anybody. It was like an Italian trying to speak Spanish. I mean, I think Italian and Castilian Spanish are closer than South American Spanish.
Well, people from Argentina, they speak very similar. South American countries, they speak very similar.
Well, Brazil.
The people that I've encountered. I've heard there's different dialects in south of the border that, kind of change things. And it's, if you learn a dialect that's not renowned, that's where you kind of get into trouble.
Right.
I do speak Italian. I studied Italian for 5 years, and learning Italian for me was very easy because I made all the sounds. I can roll my R's, and I can go real fast. And I just picked it up because there's a lot of similar words, but it isn't. Right. It is different. It is different. I think that the Spanish that my family spoke was from Andalusia, and I want to say that people from Sicily, somewhere in Sicily, like maybe Sardinia, or maybe Sicily, or somewhere around there, there's a similarity in a lot of the words and the way that they say things.
Sicily was Greek before it was Italian.
And the Spanish were there too, and they brought the tomato. I don't know if people know that, but the Spanish. And there's a lot of similarities between the Greeks and the Southern Spaniards. There's a lot of they cook very similar. A lot of things are similar.
Well, my best friend Roxanne is Greek.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, and you're
Spanish.
Spanish and English, and so.
And the English make some things that are really tasty. Like the best cup of tea you've ever had.
Oh, to make me time. Read the leaves.
Huh?
And then read the leaves.
And then read the leaves. I do that. I do. We'll have to do a show where I do that.
Yeah.
Because I do read the leaves. I have been doing that since I was a child.
Yeah.
But I think that I think it's important, after losing people. One of my friends that passed away, I've known her my whole life. I mean, my mother, she lived a house away, and my mother, my friend, her baby sister was born a week before me. And my mother took me over at 2 weeks to go meet them. She wanted to go see the lady down the street's new baby, which became lifelong best friend. And so did Debbie, who just passed, was also my lifelong best friend. We did so much together, and I, thinking about it, there were so many things that were pivotal in my life that I was with Debbie when they happened more than with Kim. So it made me realize that my circle is getting smaller and
Yeah.
my life needs to continue to get bigger, and that I need to appreciate and treasure my circle.
Yes,
Circle.
I do.
It's your
I, right now, you're my biggest circle. But you told me about that newcomers, and I did contact them, that newcomers women's club.
Uh-huh.
And I got an email from one of the ladies. They invited me to a lunch last month, but I was going to be somewhere. Where was I? I think I was in Macon or somewhere. I was away.
Right.
And so I got an email and they invited me to a luncheon, and they're playing some kind of cards. And I said, well, I don't know how to play that game. And they said, well, we'll give you a crash course. You're going to love it. And you change tables, whatever.
Kind of like Bunko.
I don't know. You change
okay.
table. And so I'll get to meet lots of ladies, she said.
Oh, I love it. I'm so happy.
Joined DAR, and I again was in Macon, so I couldn't make a meeting this month, but next month I will go.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's what really helps, is making friends.
It does. It does help. I'm CA national, so I was already a member, and I just,
You're just in a new chapter.
I'm just in a new chapter, yeah.
Yeah. And it's all, you all have that in common.
Right.
That's nice.
Right.
I am not a daughter of a revolutionary. I don't have that, because everybody comes from another country. I mean, my only forefather I have is my own, but my daughter, she could be a member.
And because her dad, right?
Through her dad. Yeah, through Ernie. Yeah, my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, this has been fun.
It has.
It has absolutely been fun.
And we just want to tell everybody buy Ann's book, because I read it and it's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
All of the teaching comes through the stories of Ann's life.
My life was my life, but I throughout my business of helping people, a lot of those things I have used and had a lot of positive feedback from. And, I can't reach everybody. I mean, if anybody ever wants reading, I'm always here for that, or a group, or I do video groups. I have a group coming up in South Carolina in a couple of weeks. I've done a group in New England. I do them on video as well as doing them on the phone or in person. I flew out to Boston. I did a huge group there years ago, and I love it. I love my work. I love what I do. And I love helping people. I love helping people move from a place of uncomfortable living. There's things that hold people back.
Yeah.
And usually it's something so easy to fix. And some of those meditations that are in the book are powerful, very powerful, and do help. So thank you for saying that. I didn't know that Marce was going to say these things. So. Well, disclaimer.
The book, I loved it because the points are made through real life situations. Not, this is what you do and that's how you do it, and do this and do that. It's like, this is what I went through. This is how I handled it. This is what I did. And they're like parables. Jesus taught through parables as well.
Right.
Parables are nice. And it's not boring reading. It's interesting reading.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You had a lot of fun writing that. I think I edited it 5 times. And now I look at it and I go, oh, maybe I should have added this, right? And it got to the point where I went, not enough, because there's like 5 more chapters that I could think of off the top of my head I should have added, but it was like, no, get it out. So my editor said, no, that's the next book.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Next book.
You
I
have,
am working on another book, and it will be about experiences as a medium, as a psychic medium.
mhm.
And it will talk about, things that I've experienced as a medium and a psychic and a person living on the planet. And these, I've had experiences that have just been mind blowing. It still blows my mind when I do a session. Like last night, I had somebody call me, text, she goes, "Can I do a text session with you?" And I said, "Of course." Which would have been much better to do text because it was just be too noisy to talk at 10:30 at night.
Mhm.
And somebody was in the hospital and she said, "I want to know what you get on this." And I'm like, I just go into it and I get everything on it. And she said, "Oh my God, I cannot believe that you're getting this." I said, "Are you forgetting who you're talking to?" I said, "What am I supposed to do?" And I'm like, and I just kept going and going and going. And it was really interesting, just so fast. I get things very quick,
Yeah.
very quick. And I love my work. I love it. And thank you for supporting that. I appreciate it
Oh,
very
not a
much.
problem. Yeah, it was a interesting book, and I really liked reading it, and I really love the stories, and it,
Thank you.
it's a good book. It's a good read.
Thank you. Well, if you could, I would love it if you put a little put something on Amazon and say, there's, you can do a, what do they call that when you do a
Review.
review? Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm in the writing, I'm not in the reviewing. But if
I-
you could, I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's called Smile for a Minute, Soulful Reflections of a Soulful Healer. And it's by Anne Rabina Roman. And my mother named us because she was a voracious reader. My mother, she was just amazing. She was a really lovely person without, she didn't have all those horrible things that she went through, but she was brilliant. And she named us by how our name would look on the side of a book as an author. So
oh,
I had to be Anne Rabina Roman because that was what she wanted.
well, that's good.
Yeah,
Hope you dedicate it to her.
I did dedicate it to both my parents.
Good.
I'm going to dedicate this show to Debbie. And may her spirit find joy and love in her new journey.
Yeah.
With that, I think we're bringing this to a close. I'm going to try and do this every week. I've had some things that prevented. I'm still staying with my daughter for a little while.
Mm.
I got to find the right time to do this. Right now the house is quiet. No distractions. The phone is.
Our life paralyzes.
Yes, yes.
Parallels too much.
Yes, yes, the parallels, not paralyzed. We are not, oh, whoopsie. We are not paralyzed.
No.
Our wonderful friend, Marcie, thank you so much for being with me today. And remember to live from your heart, because if you live from your heart, you're spreading joy and love everywhere you go.
That's right.
Till the next time, take care.
You too, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.